Hey, what's up everybody? Square Enix is at it again, and they're going to be releasing the Final Fantasy XIV franchise over to the PlayStation 3, and of course, re-release it for the PC as well. So join me in my quest to see if this game is good or bad in my geek review of Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. Right off the bat, if you guys do look at this game just looks fantastic. Not a lot of MMOs out there looks this great. You guys are going to be treated to a cutscene that is well known in the Square Enix universe.
The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the Astral Eras.
Eorzea is the wonderful place you'll be playing in this Final Fantasy XIV world, where you're basically going to do all your quests and whatnot. Literally in the gameplay, everything looks lush. I started off in the world or in the area of Grandaria or Gandaria. Not a lot of MMOs could actually match up to the look of this game. There's very few out there, but this is one of the games that looks great in the gameplay. Sadly, it starts dying out when you guys go inside or go indoors and towards dungeons and whatnot, because the place starts looking very bland. It kind of sucks because the outside world looks very lush, very magical. It's a place you want to visit. If you look at the monsters and the chocobos, those are actually high quality detailed as well. The armor you have looks fantastic. The more you level up, the higher quality grade of your weapons. You're gonna start to see some floating rocks around your weapons. Your weapons disassemble and reassemble when you actually holster it or take it out during battle. These are nice touches from Square Enix that makes this game just look absolutely fantastic. Sadly, the same thing cannot be said for the sound of the game. The only thing Square Enix did for this game in terms of sound is literally the sound effects. That's about it. But sound effects overall in quality, it's very, very Square Enix, very, very Final Fantasy-esque style. When you press that start button, it has that little bling going on all the time. The rest of the time, you do this. The presentation for this game looks phenomenal. Sadly, cannot be said the same way for the sound and being indoors. It kind of sucks seeing the fact that this game showed high quality graphics or high quality beauty when you're outside, but the minute you dive inside to the game, it just plainly dies out. So I'm giving the presentation a 6 out of 10. One of the worst things in this game is its design. Just on the PlayStation 3, by itself, the controls are already horrible. You have the controls down here. You have to press R1 or L1 to change it up. Hold R2, press the designated button you want, down, left, right, up. If you want to use other powers, you have to press the L2. You have to switch it up. And mind you, there's a lot of actions you could perform in this game. And honestly, it just is not made for the consoles. I actually bought it for the PlayStation 3. I did not enjoy one bit of the user interface. Another horrible thing about this game is the fact that there's just too much text going on. I don't understand what the heck is going on, because there's messages going on your lower left, and at the same time there's actually your friends list, your missions, something's going here, your map is up there too. So literally 75% of your screen is taken up by all these user interfaces. I just wanted to focus on the action, and honestly I could never focus on it because all I get is this little square right here, which is your character, and of course the very first enemy or 2 or 3 enemies right in front of you. The only way I actually enjoyed this game is when I actually zoom way out from the character, which kind of sucks because I kind of want it to be right where the character is, where the action is. In order for me to actually play the game and see which enemy I want to attack or which ally I want to heal, I have to zoom all the way out and see my surrounding. Speaking of the targeting system of the game is just completely bad. I tried to heal a couple of my allies earlier on in the game because I played as a white mage. It just did not work out because of the fact that I kept targeting enemies after enemies. I was just passing by, or one of the players was actually losing a lot of health. I wanted to heal the player, but instead I got a lot of monsters I did not want to target. The story in this game is very mediocre and of course confusing as hell. We're already in the 20th century. There's not a lot of great games out there that uses sound, but they do because they put you into the world, like Star Wars The Old Republic. Those games might not be that great, but they use sound. You actually get immersed because your character talks, or you're talking to a character who talks back to you, or they give you orders. So you're already immersed in this world they put you in. Final Fantasy is a full-on text adventure. Honestly, I feel like my pacing just slowed down because of the fact that I just had to read through all of it. I know you're supposed to be slow in an MMO, but if it slows you down with the story because of the text, come on. Something has to be done. As I said before, the controls of the game is extremely horrible. When you're playing a high-level boss, you're going to have to learn all your buffs, all your magic, and all your attacks, not only to heal your allies, but to debuff the high-level monster or, enemy you're trying to take out. It doesn't help when the controls down here for the PlayStation 3 version is just completely confusing. You have to press R1 to switch to another menu. R1 again, maybe if you want to switch back. R2 and L2 will grant you the spells you might need to take out the enemy. Another horrible thing about the game is the fact that there's just too much vendors. If you want to buy something simple for the game like a magic staff, you're going to have to find it through every single vendors. It just doesn't help that there's a lot of cities and a lot of towns to go through because you have to keep doing that every time. Mind you, each town and city actually offers their own unique kind of weaponry and armor as well. So you're going to have to memorize who to buy things from and where to get it from because there's just so much vendors out there. There's 3 vendors for different types of weapons. There's 2, 3 armorers. There's a vendor for clothing. There's a vendor for crafting weapons. There's a vendor for items. The fact that you have to go through a marketplace to see all these vendors, I'm looking for my certain item for a good 30 minutes just so I could actually buy it. And another problem is the fact that I don't even know what items I need. The game doesn't tell you. It does, but you have to look it through, like all the text you see. While character progression is fast, it does not feel rewarding in Final Fantasy. Yes, you may do side quests or the main quests, but the problem is you don't even know what kind of gear you usually get. They just kind of put it in your items list. You don't feel any sense of accomplishment when you're completing these tasks. I find myself just skipping through all the tasks, just doing it because the person just had an exclamation point. Sooner or later, I don't even know what kind of quests I'm already doing because of the fact that I usually tend to forget because of the fact that they're not really memorable. So most of the time, you'll find yourself doing quests just because it's a quest. On the positive side, the fate system is bar none one of the best things they've added to Final Fantasy XIV. You would just be walking by a random town and out of nowhere go in that area and start causing havoc, whether if it's in a town or it's outside the town by the road. The fate system is great because you bring the players around you and get involved. Plus it's a cool way to actually start making friends or form a party if you guys are in the same area doing the same mission. Because of all these issues, I'm going to have to give the game design or the design of this game a 3 out of 10. The horrendous vendor looking, the horrendous UI with all the text, the story just is plainly bad to the point where I don't even pay attention to it. The only time you'll pay attention to the story is the fact that there are cutscenes. That's about it. This is your traditional MMO. Literally, you just do quests, attack a couple of baddies, you come back, you complete the quests. It is the fate system that brings this game to the light because of the fact that you could actually work with players who are not really involved in the mission you are in, and you just basically cause havoc in a certain area. Gameplay is mediocre. It is your traditional MMO that you will find out there. The thing that brings a lot of these things together is literally the fate system. Every time a fate system always pops up on the map, I find myself actually participating whether or not I'm in a mission. It's actually exciting to see a lot of players go on screen and just take out one bad guy of like that strength. Because of the horrible controls and of course a very bland gameplay, I'm giving the fun factor of this game a 4 out of 10. Overall, the score, I'm giving Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn 3.5 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, guys. My name is Jazzy, and this has been my geek review of Final Fantasy XIV.